Hello, artists. We had a request from some of you that you would like to paint more, so I'm going to teach you some skills for painting, and we're going to be creating landscapes. I'm going to give you 3 small pieces of paper, and this is a good size. And then we also have opportunities to make some mini paintings too. So these papers are very thick and ready for paint. These are watercolor paints, and you're only going to get 3 if you're in school. If you are not in school and you're online, you could use your sketchbook for this. If you don't have paints, you can try and use markers, crayons, colored pencils to blend your colors and create with us. So let's get started. We're going to start by putting our name on the back of each of these, and we're going to put our name and class code. If you're at home, right, you don't need to do that. And then also I'm going to label this one warm colors. Okay, one of them is warm colors. I'm going to put that one to the side. I'm going to put my name on the other one and class code. Sorry, I just got the sniffles. And cold colors. So warm colors, cold colors, and then this one, name and code. And then we'll do all colors. So you can do all colors or colors of your choices. So these are our 3 papers that we're going to be working on today. Today we're just going to do the background. Then next week we're going to do the middle ground and the foreground because we're going over landscape. So I'm going to start with the warm colors because the warm colors are the beginning of the rainbow. It starts with red, and we will start with the color red. For these little guys, you can also maybe make a mini one with your one. So this one can be your name again. And then we can put warm, right? Just to make sure that you know which is which. So, yeah, let's do that. If you're at home, you can make little ones if you want to cut them out. Little paintings are a lot of fun. So, I have my tempera set of paints. These are tempera, not watercolor, but they do work very similarly. And then I have water and a paintbrush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the red. And I'm going to dip my paintbrush in the water cup. I'm going to go for the red. Now when I go for the red, I'm going to start at the top. It's okay if you get paint on the table, no big deal. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to start by just blending at the top. And I noticed it almost looks pink. I don't want it to be pink, I want it to be red. So I'm going to go a little bit darker and then get that red. And I'm going to go about 1/4 of the paper, about there, right? That's about 1/4. Now, before it starts drying, what I'm going to do, and I'm starting to notice the paper is bending, I'm going to go for the next color. I'm going to wash off my paintbrush and go for orange. You really got to swirl around in these paints. And then I'm going to overlap, which means if one goes on top of the other, and I notice it starts to blend. And if I really blend it really lightly, I get a really nice tertiary color, which is red-orange. Now I've got this beautiful red, orange, and orange color. Now I want to make orange about halfway, so about 1/2 of the paper. And I'm making sure I'm getting all the way to the edge of the paper. Make sure you go all the way to the edge. Remember, we're going left to right as we blend. And I can go blend back up, and I can blend back down. Now I'm really starting to see some really nice colors and imagery. I could have went back and added some pink after red, and you could do that and then blend pink into orange. Because our only color we have left after this is the yellow. I mean, I could go back and do that if I wanted to get some pink, and I can add some pink in there, maybe go over some pink and orange and see what happens. Maybe bring some of that pink down into the middle, right? I'm just experimenting, and I'm looking and seeing how these colors mix together. Color is very important when painting. It's really, color and texture is really the backbones of painting. So once I'm done with orange, I'm going to go for yellow. So I want my paintbrush to be really clean, and we'll make sure that yellow is clean as well. And I'm going to swirl around in the yellow and get my paintbrush nice and yellow. And then I'm going to move on to blending the yellow. Now it might be a little hard. Let's see if we can turn this light off. There we go. It might be a little hard to see the yellow on my projector, but you'll be able to see it in person. I'm going to take yellow. I'm going to bring it all the way down. And I'm blending it into the orange. Let's see if we can see it a little bit better. There we go. A little bit better. So I have this nice blend of yellow. It's hard, really hard, because that yellow is super light and it's still wet. So it's using that reflection of the lights. Okay, so that's your idea, is you're just blending. I can go back with the orange. So I'm blending all my warm colors together. Now we have done this before, I believe so, in the past. So we're kind of just getting a little bit of a review. Then next week we're going to let this dry. And I can even get my little one, and I can start working on my little one and doing the same thing. Maybe this time I want to get some different colors in there, or maybe this time I want it to be more orange or whatever. But really understanding how those colors mix together and making quick choices. Quick line choices really might help out a lot. All right, so there we go. There's my 2 for the warm colors. And when you are done, you could go and walk this to the drying rack. You may have to wipe off your space before moving on to your next set of colors. So my next set of colors I have are the cold colors. So that's the next ones that we're working on. And then I can have my other one, my little guy, that's also cold colors. So put my name and cold. So flip this guy over on the nice clean side. Make sure your table's clean so you don't get any warm colors on it. And the cold colors are blue, green, and purple, which is the second half of the rainbow. So I'm just going to start by painting purple. I want to go the darkest color at the top and then the lightest color at the bottom. So I'm dipping and getting nice dark purple. Now that's a light purple. I want it to be a little bit darker. Now I have 2 different blues. I also can make indigo. So if I mix that purple and that blue together, I can start to make an indigo color. Aha, that looks good. All right, so then I can go and get that blue again and keep overlapping. So these paints will dry fast, but they might dry a little bit slower on the watercolor paper. So you might have to wait to blend more, but I would suggest not waiting too long. because you really want those vibrant colors in there to mix together and make those lines. Those lines that you see that your paintbrush is making really helps to make texture. It makes things look real. Alright, so now I have the blue and I can move on. I have this teal color and I can overlap the teal color with the blue. This is how you actually make water in the ocean. So if I have this blue, I have these lines here. And see these lines? That's waves. Pretty cool and it's pretty simple. So then I'm moving on to the green. And I have two different color greens. Kind of looks like the ocean, right? I got the water, I got the sand, the beginning of the water. So this could turn into a painting of a sunset. But we're actually going to use this one for the cherry blossom tree. But just to go to show you, kind of give you some experience on learning how to blend your colors. I'm going up and then back down. I'm really blending them together. And the less care that you have, sometimes the better the paintings come out. It's just, I don't know. It's with watercolor is really kind of quick choices. Making sure I'm going all the way to the end of the page. I can even bring some of that purple down more if I want to. Really just going kind of quick with it. So now that I have my blended cool colors, I can move on and work on my little painting. Maybe I want to do the same thing. Maybe I want to do it different. A little bit different, but that's fine. So now I'm not going to overdo it on the little one because I'm noticing that some of this paper is starting to kind of what's called pill, and it kind of creates little dots. It's the paper that's crumpling up. So and now this painting is done. I'm going to put these on the drying rack, and then I have to wipe off my table, get all the extra paint off, the watercolor. Just kind of dry it off. It's okay if it still looks dirty. As long as it's dry, it's fine. And then I'm put these ones on the drying rack. And my last one is all colors. So all colors are going to be all colors. So flip that guy over. Make sure I'm putting my name and all colors on there. Now I'm going to let you decide what your all colors are, but I'm going to do rainbow. You can decide what your colors are going to be for all colors. And what this is going to help me do is I can now experiment and say, what happens when these two colors, they touch? What happens? Let's find out. You know, we obviously know what happens when colors blend together. We create our tertiary colors. But what happens if I take orange and I take blue? Now I start to see the colors that blend together. Or maybe don't blend together. Look, there's my brown that I talked about earlier. So maybe you don't want to do horizontal lines, but I'm doing horizontal lines because we're doing landscapes. But hey, maybe now it's your opportunity to see what you can do, what colors blend together, what colors don't blend together. Maybe you find that you really like a color combination. This is the best way to really find those color combinations, is just blend them together. And then, let's see, purple. Oh, remember we talked about purple and yellow. If I take purple and I take yellow, and I put them on top of each other, there's that brown I talked about. I can go back and really see what happens when I mix those two colors together. There's that brown again. But these are colors you're going to want to mix together when you have landscapes because they're natural colors. And then maybe I want to see at the top what green looks like on top of red, right? I'm just kind of having fun with it, and I'm like, those are the complementary colors. And that's what they make. They make those natural colors. Because really, complementary colors are just pretty much, when you mix them together, all the colors mixed together. Think about it. Just different intensities. Like maybe some has more red, one like the purple has more cold colors in it, or warm colors, and that's what it does. That's what the color that it makes. So it's just interesting. When you're done with your all colors, maybe you want to move on to your little one and make something different on your little one. Maybe this one you wanted to do a rainbow because you wanted to try out the other colors. Completely up to you. But that is it for today's lesson. You should have a lot of paintings done today. And next week we're going to explore on how we can add our landscape qualities to them. Okay, I made a little sunset here. We got the ocean. We got the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I totally have a little painting of a sunset here. Just because I blended my colors together, I could go back in the sky. I can add some clouds in there, right? If you wanted to do one of those, go for it. Let's do it. Let's do one more. If you want one more, hey, I have more paper. This time I'm gonna do a rainbow and see what happens when I make a rainbow. Gotta go blue after yellow. Blue. Green. So we'll extend the green a little bit longer. We can even extend the blue and get the teal in there. Look, there's my water, guys. There's my water line. Just going back and forth. And then I'll add that purple on the bottom. Landscape out of the rainbow. That's my painting. And hey, I mean, if I wanted to and I wanted to finish this one today, I can add a little sun. Don't need a lot of water. I should have maybe waited for the sun for it to dry a little bit, because I can always add like other things, but yeah, I probably should have waited. That's why we're waiting for day 2 to do the foreground, because look, see how it's starting to kind of get a little messy. All right, so that's it for today's lesson. All of these are going to go on the drying rack, and we will revisit them next week so we can add really cool designs to them in the foreground.